Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're going through John chapter 6. Jesus travels across the Sea of Galilee to go up a mountain and was followed by multitudes that had seen his miracles. When they follow him up the mountain, he asked Philip, "Where should we get bread to feed them?" Peter is said to have known what Jesus will ultimately do, aka supply a miracle, but tells Jesus with what little money they have, it will not be enough for everyone to eat. Andrew then tells Jesus he saw a lad with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, but even that would be too little for 5,000 men. Jesus tells the disciples to have the crowd sit. He takes the bread, gives thanks, and starts to distribute it. The 2 fishes the same. He tells the disciples to gather all the fragments when all are filled, so that there is none wasted, and they end up with 12 baskets of leftover food. Upon seeing the miracle, the men said, "This is of a truth that prophet that should come into the world." This is the only miracle in all 4 Gospels. The chapter shifts here. Jesus senses that he will be forcibly taken to be made a king, and he departs into the mountain alone. John writes that Jesus stays and the disciples depart onto a ship for Capernaum. With great winds, they are out at sea, 5 and 20 to 30 furlongs. And then they see Jesus walking on the water, approaching their ship, and they are afraid. Jesus says, "It is I, be not afraid." And once received, the ship was immediately at land once more. The crowd sets out to seek Jesus in Capernaum too, and when asked about leaving, he responds to the crowd that they don't seek him as the Son of Man or the miracles he brings, but because they got to eat bread and fish. He reiterates to labor not for meat that perisheth, but for meat that endureth, which the Son of Man is to give to us. The disciples ask, "What do they do so that they may work the works of God?" Jesus says, "Believe on him that has been sent." They ask him for a sign that they may believe that he is the Son of Man. Jesus instead says that God has sent true bread from heaven. It gives life to this world, and they say, "Give us this bread." Jesus says, "I am the bread of life." They that go to him means you won't hunger. Believe on him, you will not thirst. He follows with, "Ye have seen me and believe not," alluding to the miracles already performed, and still they ask for signs. He says to go to him and you will not be cast out. He says he's been sent from heaven to do the will of his Father, and that who sees the Son and believes will have everlasting life and be raised up the last day. It is at this point the Jews look at each other and start to murmur, because they don't fully understand and say, "Isn't this Jesus, the son of Joseph? We know his parents. How has he come down from heaven?" Jesus shuts the murmuring down and says, "Don't murmur among yourselves," and explains that whoever knows of the Father is to come unto Jesus. That to believe on him means everlasting life, because he is the bread of life. Eat it and live forever, because he gives life to the world. He says to eat his flesh and drink his blood and have eternal life, to be raised up the last day. The Jews were not allowed to drink blood. They get hung up on the fact that he's telling them to do it. They miss the point that Jesus is there to bring and sustain a spiritual life beyond the physical. He says that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father. When people hear this, some turn around and walk away, no longer followers of Jesus. Jesus looks to his disciples and asks if they'll go too. Simon Peter answers him and says, "To whom will they go? He has words of eternal life," and they believe him, that he is the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus responds with, Have not I chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil?" speaking of his betrayal for the first time while alluding to Judas, a contrasting comparison between Peter and Judas. Okay, everybody, that's the end of John chapter 6. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them in the comment box below. If you have any prayer requests, as always, please leave them there as well. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon for John chapter 7. Thank you. Bye.